Hi everyone, welcome to today's lesson. We are going to continue our work with theme. So at this point, we have been working on this same goal the last couple of days to be able to identify and define theme idea, theme statement, track it throughout the story, and then be able to create a theme statement. So we did a little work together. You did some independently, and now we're going to move it over to short stories and continue to do some independent practice. So here are those same definitions. I won't go through them again. But I just wanted to make sure that they are there if you need to flip back to them, and kind of the steps for identifying theme, get a theme idea, track it, create a theme statement. So what you're going to do today, and this is actually a 2-day assignment. You'll see that it's not due until Thursday, so depending on when you watch this, the definition of today will change. But you're going to choose one of 3 stories. So I'm going to give kind of a brief overview of each one. But what you're going to do with those stories is you're going to practice tracking theme through them. After I give a description, I'll also read the first page of each so you get a little bit of a feel for each one. But Eraser Tattoo is a story by Jason Reynolds. If you haven't heard of or read Jason Reynolds, he is a great author to explore more of. But his story, Eraser Tattoo, it's about moving. It's kind of about like where your home is and losing your home and thinking about things over long distances. So if that sounds interesting, that would be the story for you to choose. Meet Cute is a story by Melinda Lowe. It takes place at Comic-Con, so you might need some background on Comic-Con things, or just be interested in sci-fi if this is one that you want to choose. It's kind of about meeting new people. It also gets like they go into a little adventure at the Comic-Con, and it gets kind of spooky for a second, but not too spooky. But it's kind of more about like relationships and kind of meeting people and figuring yourself out. And the last one is Cell 1 by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this is kind of it's not autobiographical, but it tells a little bit about her experience growing up in Africa, her family life. She tells a little bit of a story about her brother and kind of dealing with hard things as they're growing up together. So that's a brief overview of each story, but I'll also give you the first page again so you get a little bit of a feel for each one. So this is Eraser Tattoo by Jason Reynolds. Shay's father climbed up into the driver's seat of a rental truck and slammed the door. Started the engine, cut the emergency blinkers, then honked the horn twice to say goodbye, before pulling off. Moments later, another truck pulled up to the same spot, a replacement. Double parked, killed the engine, toggled the emergency blinkers, rolled the windows up until there was only a sliver of space for air to slip through. What I want to know is why you get to give me one, but I can't give you one, Dante asked, leaning forward, elbows resting on his knees. His eyes on the street as the people in the new truck, a young man and woman, finally jumped out, lifted the door in the back, studied whatever was inside. Brooklyn was being its usual self, alive, full of sounds and smells, a car alarm whining down the block, an old lady sitting at a window, blowing cigarette smoke. All right, I'll stop there. That's just our first page preview of Eraser Tattoo. So based on the description and the first page, if that one sounds like the most interesting of the 3, go with that one. The next one is Meet Cute by Melinda Lowe. For this one, if you're not familiar with the X-Files, the characters in there are Scully and Mulder. It's not super important for the whole story, but it's kind of like helps you out with this first page. Agent Dana Scully was not in a good mood. Nick watched surreptitiously as the black girl in the red wig and black pantsuit, FBI badge clasped to the lapel, got in line behind her. She was scowling at her cell phone and texting furiously. When she finished her message, she pocketed her phone and crossed her arms, irritated frown still in place as she looked over the crowd. The line for the preview screening of Queen of the East, one of the biggest events at the Denver Science Fiction and Fantasy Convention, was rapidly filling the lobby in front of the Rocky Mountain Ballroom. Nick spotted a Star Wars Rebel Alliance group, 2 minions, and a bunch of people dressed as the Queen of the East herself, in gold leggings, shiny black trench, and silver hair. The multi-story lobby echoed with the sounds of excited chatter about the upcoming preview. Nick eyed Scully. Did Mulder piss you off or something? Alright, so that's our first page of Meet Cute. If that one sounds most interesting with the description of the first page, go with that one. And the last one is Cell 1 by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. You can see that I didn't get screenshots of the actual book, so this one's just in a Word document. But they're all like similar-ish lengths. The first time our house was robbed, it was our neighbor Osita who climbed in through the dining room window and stole our TV and VCR, and the Purple Rain and Thriller videotapes that my father had brought back from America. The second time our house was robbed, it was my brother, Namabia, who faked a break-in and stole my mother's jewelry. It happened on a Sunday. My parents had traveled to their home to visit our grandparents, so Namabia and I went to church alone. He drove my mother's green Peugeot 504. We sat together in church as we usually did, but we did not have time to nudge each other and stifle giggles about somebody's ugly hat or threadbare caftan, because Namabia left without a word after 10 minutes. He came back just before the priest said, "The mass is ended. Go in peace." I was a little piqued. I imagined that he had gone off to smoke or to see some girl, since he had the car to himself for once. But he could at least have told me. We drove home in silence, and when he parked in our long driveway, I stayed back to pick some Ixora flowers while Namabia unlocked the front door. I went inside to find him standing in the middle of the parlor. "We've been robbed," he said. So I'm actually going to stop there. I think that equates to kind of like the first page length of the other ones. So if cell 1 is the most interesting, go with that one. So the 3 stories again are Eraser Tattoo, Meet Cute, and Cell 1. You're going to pick one of them. All of them are linked on our course page, so you just have to go back there to find them. And then as you're doing it, I would have today's assignment open because it kind of asks you to do some thinking through as you're reading the story. But you're going to choose a story, read it, track theme ideas and theme statement throughout, and then by the end, you're going to create a theme statement, which is pretty much what we've been doing these last couple of days, just applying it to a new kind of story.